right? But they don't want the legalism of it, right? So now guess what we're introduced to? We're introduced to the charismatic movement. Charismatic movement is a little Pentecost, but not as they would say legalism, as we would say standards, right? So they're coming into this moment in the 60s. That's the people. So really what they transitioned and they changed, like, if you know anything about hippies, they were potheads. Like, they were like big on drugs and ecstasy and stuff. So they changed their false power and they wanted something real. But their teaching wasn't the same. So that's the 60s, right? But now we get into like the 70s, early 80s, and now we see another move called the Neo-Pentecostalism. Neo-Pentecostalism is your word of faith movement. They're saying, listen, we've got power, but we've also, we're a little bit more educated now. We got a little bit more knowledge. We're about faith. So they have Pentecostal expressions, right? But they're limited, they're confined. You're not gonna have a breakout service where nobody preaches. Like, everything is order, as they would say, right? So that's your word of faith movement, right? But now, in the 2000s, man, late 90s, we enter another weird era that I'm waiting for them to define. It is now that Pentecostalism is now an expression rather than a theology. And I find this offensive. Because now they want to define Pentecostalism by a shout and a dance. So now you have Baptists calling themselves Baptist-costal because they got a good organist and a new drummer. Talk to me, church. And to be honest, we should find that kind of offensive. I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment, right? You got people that say they go to a Pentecostal church. Why? Because they ran on Sunday. I'm not Pentecostal because I shout. Right. Oh, y'all, come on. I'm not Pentecostal because I quicken. I'm Pentecostal because I believe in Acts 1 and 8. Right. Come on. Y'all, you got to help me now. We aren't Pentecostal because of our expression. We are Pentecostal because of our holiness. Right. That's what separates us. We may all come together and have these interdenominational services, and we all may dance and stuff like that, but we all go home and live different. Y'all don't want to talk about that. You may shout, but we don't do the same things. You may dance, but we don't go to the same places. We don't have the same standards. And the reason why we have to define that is because there's going to be a generation of Pentecostals that are going to be confused when they see people shouting, but then going to the club. Right. And then the question is going to become to our leaders and our pastors, if they can go, why can't I? Because we all got the same expression. But I believe the Bible tells us to shun the very appearance of evil. But now we got to define evil. Right. Okay, that becomes another thing, right? So we aren't Pentecostal because of our expression, and do not let people dummy it down to shouting. And I gotta say this though, we also do a bad job at broadcasting Pentecostalism because we put more praise breaks up than we put up sermons. And my church shout. Let me tell you something. We shout at Harvest. We dance. We're gonna dance. We're gonna run. But what I told our media person is, don't put more praise breaks up than you put clips of us preaching. Because we don't just shout. There's a word, there's a theology behind what we believe.